Okay, here we'll look at some of the basics of nutrient management for squash. And it can be whether you're managing organic nutrients or chemical fertilizers. We want to start with a soil test and to amend our soil so that we are in the optimum conditions to start with. Now, nutrient deficiencies in squash, we have nitrogen. What to look for is yellowing of older leaves, stunted vine growth, and overall this kind of limey green color. You want to fertilize with nitrogen-based fertilizer, especially early in the season when the soil is cold if you didn't have a chance to warm up quite yet. Continue regular but small doses of nitrogen fertilizer until we get to kind of fruit set and you can back off. The picture I want to show you here that I've taken of a field really shows nitrogen deficiencies and how they can change. You can see the plants in the back here are stunted in yellow compared to the ones here. So this is a very small area, 2, 3, 4, 5, only about 6, 7 plants long, and we can see that the nitrogen shifts between here and here. In particular, knowing the background of this field personally, this was a wetter area, and as a result this leached out more of the nitrogen, and this held more of the nitrogen. So it can be, even in this small plot of an area, you can have different requirements for nitrogen. So just something to keep in mind there. Potassium deficiencies. This is leaf browning, typically at the margins, which typically coincides with fruit set or occurs shortly after fruits begins to swell. How to prevent this? Well, if you're known to be low in this, you can start adding some potassium when about the flowers start to open, so you don't get into this deficiency standpoint. If caught early, it can be corrected. However, if it's caught late, yields may suffer. High potassium fertilizer like potassium sulfate is recommended. And we can see that here, that I spotted here in this field, the margins are starting to burn. This was late in the season, so not a major issue, but a sign that this field in future is probably low in potassium. Now we have the low end side, we also have the high end side. High nitrogen improves plant growth, but can actually impact and reduce yield. Watch foliar applications, as large and thin leaves of squash can burn very easily. They can also get thin and crack. They can get this really aged look. And that's a picture of me here with some really tall leaves here. Here's a typical gardener's glove with a giant leaf. This is all indication of excessive nutrients, which we want to avoid, because not only are we wasting the time and the money of applying them, also could be contributing to soil contaminants.